What advice do you have for parents who are struggling with their own self-criticism? Because oftentimes when we work with kids, it's really not about the kids, it's actually about the parents as well, right? So, which also
Right.
may influence how they react with their children because it's their own, I don't want to say insecurity. So this, again, this is not coming from blame or shame. God forbid I've done that. How do we work with our own criticism? I'd like to get some words of wisdom from you.
One of the things is Tony Robbins and Steve Linders talked about this, how trade expectation for appreciation, and how from that state of praising yourself and feeling good about yourself, a secure person can give secure criticism. And how when the parent has their own criticisms and they have like their own doubts about themselves, I've seen this from my own perspective and from my friend's perspective. That criticism from the parents comes out onto the child, and the child has no idea what they're talking about. And so I think the biggest part is that the parents also need to praise themselves and how they have years of experience, that they have wisdom, they have advice that they can offer, and how any bit that they can share with that child or whoever they're talking to can help forward that other person immensely. The lesson that they can learn and take away from that, and the shortcuts that they can take through life to be more successful, it's massive. And so the biggest part is praise yourself. Parents, please praise yourself and think highly of yourself. You guys are amazing. You brought us into this world. I know just like that, you can take us out. Praise yourself that what you have is unimaginable. Please know that you will always love us, and that any advice that you do give will be taken massively, because this will benefit us years along our path. And so yeah, praise yourself, and you are good enough. And yeah, we always love you.
Thank you so much for that inspiration. I remember my mom, I've been a teen, and my mom would used to like give me like advice and things like that. And a lot of times she thinks I don't listen. This is actually to the point. She thinks I'm not listening. But many, many years later, as an adult, I was like, yeah, you remember you said that, you said this, you said, give me advice. I was really surprised, like, you actually paid attention. And then now I see this in my daughter. Because a lot of time I would get her advice, like helping her out, coach her, like aloof, like she doesn't not pay attention. And then later on, she comes back, 5 minutes later, she comes back and reflects and tells me that. I'm like, wow, actually, she does listen. Before we wrap up, there's a story I want to share with you because you talked about your messy room and you getting yelled at. So that was me too, right?
Yeah.
I got yelled at all the time. Every time I'm about to clean my room, especially in high school, every time about to clean my room, literally just picking up my clothes from the ground, my mom comes in, like, why aren't you cleaning your room?
Like, what do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, like it drove me nuts, right? When I was in the army, when I was in basic training, obviously, you got to make sure all your bed, all your locker, like, in fact, I had the best locker in my entire platoon. Yeah, and then my mom's like, oh, how the heck did you, like, yours just got such a messy room, and how'd you get the best, like, wall locker, the best cleanest room, or part of the living quarter? It doesn't make any sense. So parents, trust the fact that when you're in the right environment, your kid will excel. In the right environment with the right coaching, your kid would excel. So with that said, I know we covered this. I just want to make sure we vet everything out. What is the one message you want to share with every parents out there?
First, from a parent's perspective, right, you can't give what you don't have. And so parents, please praise yourself. Please take care of yourselves. The child, we all love you. You're going to be our only parents in this life. And so, yeah, we love you. Just know that we always love you and that you're always going to be good enough to us. Any advice that you give is, I can't think of a dollar amount that would equal that. Just right to hear from you, hear from your experiences. Yes, we love you, and please love yourself. And then the second thing is, from that place of love and from compassion and caring and looking out for us and to help us through our lives. Yeah, like follow that ratio, how praise the moments where we give our effort and we give energy and we get results from, good or bad. And then also with that praise, that correct praise, also include constructive criticism that is inspiring, that is helpful, that is from a that's from a place of, you are good enough where you are. I love you for what you've done so far. I am proud of you for what you have done. And this is what you can do even better for yourself.
One thing, this is the other reason why I really started Remarkable Parenting Academy, is because there's a lot of need for connection. So to sum up what Eric is talking about, this connection, because how we grew up in my generation and the previous generation is very different from how you guys grew up. Because now you guys have Google, you have all the access to information. You guys are mature. Every generation I've noticed is maturing even faster, and that pace will accelerate. And with that maturity, you guys are getting even more stress. Back in the days when we're upset, we yell it out, go back on the playground, go play basketball, whatever, right? But nowadays, there's medication for you guys, there's diagnoses, there's therapies, and like kids on Prozac and antidepressant, and there's too many stories where I hear the kids want to commit suicide. And even if they're going through GYLS, Global Youth Leadership Summit, we do this exercise called the Walk of Truth. I've been in the last 2 years, and consecutively, the patterns that I've seen, one of the questions was, how many of you guys know a friend who have committed suicide or have suicidal thoughts?
Right.
And about 70% of you guys all walk.
Yes.
And like, we as parents, why aren't we having this conversation? Why? And everything goes back to our beginning of the conversation, is that connection. This is exactly what we're talking about, right? So number one, it starts with connecting with us, loving ourselves, that we are enough,
Right.
that we are loved. When we're in that place and we can share that love, it's like my analogy is a cup of love of water. So when our cup is full of love, and that the love overflows, then we can share. When our cup is empty, then I'm never enough. Then our kids is going to feel that too.
Yeah.
So Eric, thank you so much for all the golden wisdom that you shared with us. This is one of the best podcasts I've ever had. Right? I really appreciate you and I, we created this magic, and there's no script. I don't have the script in front of me. Eric doesn't have the script.
I don't either. I'm just talking on the spot.
From the heart, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate the sincerity. At some point, I love to interview again once you're at West Point and what it's like the West Point life is like.
Absolutely. I'll schedule my time.
Awesome. We appreciate it. And we appreciate your time here. Until then, live purposely, love passionately, and be the most remarkable parent that you can be. We'll see you in future episodes.